Awesome. Okay. So, Kristen, we're going to kick off with you and have you chat a little bit about Breakaway and why Breakaway exists.
Right. Thank you, Shay. Martin and I founded Breakaway about 1.5 years ago, but it was really, in a way, it was like a 2-year journey, and in a way, it was like a 20-year journey, because Martin and I have known each other about that long. And what happened immediately up to us figuring out Breakaway was that a couple of years before, I had been working at a CPA firm, as I had done for the last 20 years. I realized that I didn't want to continue at that firm. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to open up my own practice. Like, I'm ready to do this. I'm just going to go do it. I had everything lined up. I had, lease all ready to go. I was super excited. I knew it was going to be great, but I kind of had this panic attack, because what happened was, when I realized, like, it's all on me, I knew I needed to hire staff. I knew I needed, help to get all the work done, but I wasn't just sure how that was all going to come together. I was a single mom, still am single mom, I've got 2 kids. I couldn't devote 70 hours a week to trying to figure out how to make this all work. And there was so many things to think about. There was the legal aspects, there was the admin, setting up a computer, doing a website. All of these things were just too overwhelming. And so I was sharing my panic with my dear friend, Martin. And he, at the time, was the CEO of a large regional firm here in Portland. He said, just come work for us. We're building out our cloud accounting. You've got your background in tax. You'll be a great fit. It'll be fine. So I did. I kind of took the easy way out and went to go work for another firm. And it was not a good fit as far as the type of firm or the type of work that I did. But what we did in the couple of years that I was there was pretty magical, because a couple of things happened that, made it kind of the ideal setup for Breakaway. And what happened was, Aldrich, our firm, had worked with a team in India for like 15 years. And I had never done that before. And once I worked with that team and saw how amazing they were, I thought, this would have been the answer to my problem, because here's, working with a team like that I didn't have to worry about 401ks. I didn't have to worry about health benefits. I just had them available as a resource to me, to be able to get the work done, where I could just really be amazing in front of my clients, and really spend that time giving the clients the kind of service that I always wanted to, but I didn't have time because I was just doing the nitty-gritty of all the work. And so Martin and I really worked on this idea, and the firm supported it, where we wanted to provide a platform for people like me that wanted to go out and have their own practice without all the things that drag you down and take you away from your clients. And so that's why we founded Breakaway. And so our Breakaway has 3 really core pillars that we provide to our advisors. One of them is technology. We really curate a technology stack to support our advisors in the most efficient way possible. The other thing is the brand. Everything that we do is really provided in that Breakaway brand, so you don't have to go and figure out your own website and marketing and all that kind of stuff. And the third thing that we provide is, like I mentioned, the access to that offshore team. And so having those 3 things as a base really gives our advisors the ability to kind of springboard into the next level of their practice, or really start a practice without having all those headaches to begin with. And so that's what Breakaway does for advisors. And so then the question is, well, then how does that help us serve our clients? Well, the core of our service offering really is bookkeeping. Every client needs bookkeeping. And so that's why we put it in our name. And it's hard to find a really quality bookkeeper. There's a lot of bookkeepers out there, or they call themselves bookkeepers. There's not really a standard for what that means. And so we wanted to create the Breakaway brand to provide that, like, almost like McDonald's cheeseburger, but better experience of, like, okay, you know what that is. You know that if you're getting a Breakaway advisor, you know that it's a quality product that you're having and a quality interaction. And so, because what we found is that everybody knows that they need the bookkeeping. They don't always know that they need maybe a controller level service or a CFO level service. But once we get in there and start talking to the clients about what their goals are, what their plans are, what kind of their strategy is for the business, a lot of them have never even gotten a chance to have that conversation before. No one's ever asked them these questions before. And so they, they really start to appreciate that relationship, and then we can grow it from there. So it can kind of expand to whatever the client needs. And we have clients that run the gamut. There's still those clients that are super simple and we're just doing basic bookkeeping, but we're checking in, we're checking in, and if they're growing, and we can make sure that we grow along with them. And then we have all the way up to really we're a CFO that interacts with their board and their executive team to help them strategize and track things as they go along the way. So that's who we are in a nutshell.
Thank you, Kristen. Trying to get the mute down because, of course, I also had dogs going crazy while Kristen was talking. So we're going to talk a little bit more about our 3 pillars later on today, but we want to really start now that Kristen has given us the background with speaking with our 2 of our advisors, Gretchen and Nicole, who are going to talk about their experience as advisors and what that's meant for their own personal lives and their careers, and also how it allows them to better help their clients. So let's kick off with Gretchen, if you're ready for the hot seat, and then Nicole.
Sure, I have no problem with that. So my background is in architectural A&E industry and construction, and about, I think 3.5 years ago, I left a company, a larger architecture firm that I'd been with for 13 years. I'd worked my way up to director of project accounting for them, and I was traveling every week and away from my kids and working hundreds of hours a week. And I finally, about 3.5 years ago, said I'm done and turned in my resignation, and decided I wanted to spend time with my kids. I have young kids, and I was missing them, and I'd already missed my older kid, and I didn't want to miss the younger one. So time with them. And so I actually took 2 years off, and I was not going to go back to work anytime soon. I was similar to Kristen. I really would have liked to do my own practice, but I didn't even know where to get started with the logistics and just kind of the whole how to set all that up and get it all running and still spend time with my kids and maintain that balance and priority of family and work, which I had lost previously. So I was kind of 2 years in of taking an awesome, wonderful sabbatical. And Martin and Michelle, who are 2 of the founding members of Breakaway, called me, and I think they called me in November. And at the time I was doing some crafts and bazaars for the holidays and just was like, I can't talk to you. I don't have bandwidth. And then they called again. And in January I met with them, and it was one of the best meetings I've ever had, just because the way they described Breakaway, the way that they described the interactions and the foundations of the company was exactly kind of what I was looking for. I was looking for a company that respected work-life balance, that I could be my own boss, I could work from home, I could kind of define my own practice, which I've been able to do, which has been fun and not fun sometimes when you have to say, no, this client isn't working out, or, this is the type of client I want, but you get to define it. And that's having that conversation with them back in January. It was an amazing experience, and it was just exactly what I was looking for at that time. So I signed up with Breakaway, and it was a little overwhelming in the beginning because, I'd been off work for 2 years. So I was like, wait, I have to actually have deadlines again. But it was the support that, and Shay, you asked me kind of what I like most about Breakaway. It's the support of the team. I mean, because I'm my own boss, I have my own practice, but I have a team, and I have people that I can call and rely on or ask questions when I don't know an answer, or ping an idea off of, or even collaborate with a client. And it's kind of getting the best of both worlds. You get that team environment, but you still have the ability to say, no, I don't want to take this client on, or I want to pursue this type of client, or I just want to take a break, or I want to go on vacation for a couple of weeks, so I'm not going to pursue any clients. So, yeah. I mean, it's just, it has been truly wonderful to be able to shape my practice and my business. I love to travel. And so one of my long-term goals is to get a team in place, utilize our India team, which has been amazing. It's taken me a while because I like to have that control and have my fingers on everything, but I'm realizing that if I want to get to my place where I am more hands off and more enjoying my family and travel time, I need to release some of the detail work, which I have been, and it's been great. It's great to be able to send off an assignment and then go to bed, and the next morning it's done. And so I can just keep working. And yeah, it's been a great experience. And I love just the support and the friendships and just the enthusiasm. Cause I mean, some of the other environments I've worked in, it's just been really kind of downtrodden, or people are just kind of, oh, this is the way it is, we can't change things. But with Breakaway, it's like, okay, we identify something's, not working. So we can change it, or we can change it for ourselves, or we, can ping the founding members and say, hey, let's do this, or, let's talk about this, because this really doesn't work. And it's just having that flexibility and that access to communication and the support team has been wonderful. And for me personally, and like I said, my end goal is so that I work minimum hours each week and can travel and just spend time at home with my husband and my kids and out in my garden.
Yeah.
just spending time on stuff I want to do, but still be able to have a successful business and to be challenged. And
yeah, cool.
Any
great.
questions or anything?
Thank you, Gretchen. No, that is wonderful. Gretchen was actually our first advisor to jump in with us after our founding team. And we're just so grateful for her and all of her work. And we kind of have a famous story we tell about Gretchen where she was like, am I doing this right? Because I'm having too much fun. So I don't even know if you remember saying that, Gretchen, but I was looking back at some stuff and a video of Kristen talking about that.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah,
it's true. I mean, I truly
right?
enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like my clients. So
it's really fun to be able to work with clients that, not that all of our clients are perfect, but that fill you up. So
I think the other big thing though that Breakaway does is, so one of the things I almost said no is because I'm terrified of going out and having to market my own clients, like terrified of that. That was almost a full stop for me in the very beginning. But Martin was just like, you're involved in the community, you have connections. And I was like, okay, I'll trust the system. I'm like, I'll trust it. And I did. And I've almost been fully booked since I started with clients, and they just come out of the woodworks. And it's been nice because it's just, it's not as scary as I thought it was going to be. And Breakaway is good at referrals, and just people learn you're with Breakaway, or just know that you're doing this service, and they're like, wait, can we talk to you? And it's been great. So that was my one big fear before stepping in.
Yeah, we love yeah, well, you've been doing awesome, and we love being able to let our advisors lean into that brand. So Nicole, I'm going to pass the baton to you. And Nicole, can you tell us a little bit about, again, what Breakaway has done for you and how it's helping you serve your clients?
Yeah, I guess like Gretchen, where do you even start? I guess I came to Breakaway because I have been working remotely and traveling the world for almost a decade. So I've been very fortunate in that. However, as many people are finding out with COVID, when you work from home, you can work all the time. And that's often the expectation. So for me, what I was really looking for was that time freedom, like cutting the leash and actually just leaving, going to my daughter's swim class or whatever, leaving the phone and having nothing burned down. And having no one, yell at you. So my experience is a little bit different than Gretchen. I was terrified and very pregnant, but things did work out. Like everyone has said, the support is so wonderful. And I have accounting experience, but not bookkeeping experience. So that's been another big growth point for me. I've also leaned into India a lot, not only to get the work done, but also to understand more the process, because they have a lot of experience and they really are wonderful to work with, as well as the rest of the advisors. So, if I'm looking for like a CFO level or, how to book payroll, there's always someone who is happy to help. And it's such a joy to work with everybody. We do matchups now every other week, but that's my favorite part, right? You get to talk to the community, see what they're up to. And it's been wonderful. It hasn't always been easy, but it has been wonderful. And I picked up my daughter from school today, which I never was able to do that before. And I'm really thankful. It's awesome.
Thank you so much, Nicole. We really appreciate your story. Really special to hear both of you guys talk about your experiences. So now we want to go back to those pillars that Kristen mentioned, and we're going to have our COO, Michelle Lopez, talk a little bit about community. Michelle leads our advisor cohort program, and we are just so excited for everything that she has been doing for our Breakaway advisors this year.
Yeah, so a big part of Breakaway is the community element. Our banner is work for yourself, but not by yourself, which is huge, right? The bookkeeping industry is so fractionalized, and we're doing what we can to bring belonging into it. And what that looks like is a weekly meeting where you meet with a cohort of advisors. You learn kind of the systems that Breakaway operates on and through. And then we meet after we kind of go through the basics of like all our technology and all our pillars and kind of the way we like to do things or best case scenarios. Then we start meeting every other week. But it's interesting because even though we space these meetings out to be bi-weekly, our team craves community. And what's so awesome is we use a communication platform that we're on multiple times a day. And we lean into not just for advice or support, but also just belonging. You know, we share pictures of our dogs or our plants or vacations that we went on. And it's terrific that we can, you know, overcome just our work, but also it becomes like a community. And I love that because we all share one thing in common, that we all want to bring joy to not just our community, but our clients as well. And we use a few different tools to facilitate this community element. The one I already discussed was the cohort meetings, but also we have a platform called Slipstream that we get to use for not just community, but also learning. And we do weekly one-to-ones where you meet, kind of carve out time to have a one-to-one meeting with a fellow advisor on the Breakaway team. We also have weekly marketing and more meetings and then monthly pricing workshops. If you've been kind of in the independent world of accounting and bookkeeping, you know how difficult pricing can be for a number of reasons, and it will never be a science, but trying to like figure out the art and the science behind pricing is something that our community provides, as well as a lot of things. One of the things that we also do is monthly Thrive, which is a wellness seminar. And these are optional, but all wonderful opportunities to build and grow this community.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle. I love hearing Michelle talk about community because all of the opportunities are so exciting and fun, and we really all benefit from them. So next, talk about brand. I'm going to have Martin take the mic and talk a little bit about what that is and what that means for you as a Breakaway advisor.
Thanks, Shay. So when we created Breakaway, as Kristen said, brand was one of our key pillars. And the reason is that, again, going on your own, it's a crowded space. And so you can yell as loud as you want, and you're just yelling into the wind. But with Breakaway, and we've been very intentional, and we will always lean into our brand. You join Breakaway and you join already a firm of almost 20 people, and soon it'll be 200 people or 2,000 people. And we're all adding to the brand and creating our own touch. What does it mean for me to be a Breakaway advisor? What do I bring to my clients? But at the same time, you have that credibility of a big firm. And I've seen it over and over again, and maybe Michelle Rivera can talk a little bit too. When we're in a proposal situation, we can say, oh, we have a firm. We have resources, we have peer review, we're not just one person. And yes, we're probably not, we're more expensive than potential competitors, but that's what a brand brings.
Thank you, Martin. So on that note, I'm going to kick it back to Michelle Lopez to talk about technology and how we are tech forward and tech enabled and how we use that to help humans.
Thank you. I want to start by sharing a little story from Kristen and I's past. A couple of years ago, when we could congregate, her and I went to the annual QuickBooks convention, which arguably is the only time all year that bookkeepers and accountants get together to talk about not just what QuickBooks has to offer, but all the vendors and applications that are out there. While we were there, I did some quick math because that's what I do. I realized that less than 1% of the bookkeepers and accountants in just the United States were in attendance. Now, as we all know, technology changes with the wind. It is crazy to me that less than 1% of our industry is keeping a pulse annually on new tech offerings. Why this is important is that Breakaway brings a constant pulse on what's occurring, what's new, is it worth it? All these tech offerings. There's so many different apps that we use. I mean, we have a Google Sheet full of them, and you can guarantee that we have already vetted these, we have used them with clients, and that you will not be wasting time nor your client's confidence in applying these with your day-to-day. Now, there's applications that make your clients starry-eyed at you, right? They're like, oh my gosh, you're so wonderful. But then there's also apps that save us time, and we get that quality of life back, not by what we would call taking shortcuts, but what we call being super efficient and utilizing these technologies that are out there. So what Breakaway brings is the ability to leverage technology by keeping a pulse on what's out there and what's good.
Thank you, Michelle. So now, if you are here, you've been thinking about Breakaway, you might be wondering, is it right for you? And are you right for Breakaway? So I want to kick this back to our CEO and her first business partner in this venture, Kristen and Martin, and have them chat a little bit about how you make this decision of whether or not Breakaway is the right fit for you.
Who wants to start, Chris?
I can start if you want. So yeah, it's Breakaway is definitely not for everybody, because there are a lot of folks that we've talked to that really like that comfort and security of a traditional job, and we don't have that. We are looking for folks who are entrepreneurial minded, but want that kind of additional support and team and community that Breakaway can provide for you. And so we are looking for people who are really committed to giving great service to their clients, that they always want to learn and do more. It's funny, when Michelle was talking about technology, I always like to say, don't get too attached to our technology because it's going to change. Like, we just know one constant thing is change, and especially in that space. And so I'm always trying to spring new apps and technology on folks. And I want people that enjoy that. There's just that natural curiosity to find, is there a better way to do this? Is there a faster way to do it? Is there a cooler way to present something to my client? That's what we're looking for in our Breakaway advisors. So Martin, maybe you can talk about if Breakaway is the right fit for them.
Yeah, so I'll first echo what Kristen said. Our advisors, and you met Nicole and Gretchen and all of the ones who aren't on the call, are business owners. At the end of the day, this is their book of business. This is their own personal firm, their clients. And I'll go back to, we're not a job. What's funny is we all left jobs, very intentionally left jobs, and we left jobs for a reason, because there is great joy in working for yourself, but there's not a lot of fun in working by yourself. So again, we bring both of those. So the question of is Breakaway right for you? Because the other part of it is, yeah, if you just can't wait to build a website and come up with a logo and build a brand and hire people, right? We're not a cooperative. And so, speaking really openly, it's like we don't have all 17 of our advisors on the phone saying, hey, we're looking at a new website design, and we're open to opinions. But at the end of the day, what we want is Nicole to say, yeah, you know what, I'm going to serve my clients, and then I'm going to pick my daughter up and take her to swimming lessons. I don't really want to spend a lot of time shopping for insurance. So if that's your jam, shopping for insurance, right? It's like, nope, good on you, but really we want people who want to spend time and be the most fulfilled just spending time serving your clients. I'll touch base a little bit on India again. I don't know if that's on our agenda further, but you heard Gretchen and Nicole both mention India. That's the great leveler, right? So at the end of the day, and this is our team, right? This is not a third party, some scary place. These are team members that Chris and I have met in person. They know Breakaway, they know our methodology. It's a standardized approach, and because of that, we're able to provide and compete so that when Nicole's picking up her daughter from school, the India team's working on her clients so that Nicole is a hero in front of her clients, but she still has quality of life.
Great, thank you, Martin. All right, so we are now going to move into the question and answer portion. I will stop the recording now, so you should feel free to ask any questions that